External microphone. Now we have audio. There we go. Fixed it. There we go. We're all set. Okay, so as let me check and see, is this thing on? Make sure my chat's working on the screen because I see Sunflower on my phone, but I don't see. Okay, there we go. I don't see her on my computer, and I don't know why. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the risky maneuver of refreshing my screen, see if that works. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then I guess we're just not gonna have a stream tonight. Reload. All right, everything should be operational. I'm gonna turn on chat overlay right over here on the side. Let me know, is this thing on? All right, that shows up. Everything should be working optimally. Okay, fantastic, super duper, stupendous, exciting, and awesome. Okay, there's Vanessa Kitty. Okay, everything's working. Everything's working out. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Welcome to live internet. So as I mentioned earlier today when I went live, I'm super duper excited that we were invited for the special Friday night, special Friday night event at the Texas Whiskey Festival, where you get to introduce new and unusual whiskeys. As I was arranging my bottles and arranging my camera, we cut off the stream, so y'all still didn't get to see the new release of the new label. You're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow when I'm back in the distillery, either tomorrow or Thursday. So that's just how it's gonna have to be. Sorry. Um, I'm going to drop the guest invite here, so y'all can join me if you so choose. Liquor camps in the house. Yeah, the Texas Whiskey Fest is the premier whiskey event in the state of Texas. It happens in. I'm going to pin that message at the top of chat. So if anybody join me, you're welcome to join me. The forum is wide open. As I mentioned, it is the procrastination happy hour. I am actively avoiding doing the stuff that I need to do. This is the procrastination show. I should be working on my taxes, but I'm not. They're not due until the 18th, so I will probably start working on them around 10:30 on the 17th because that's what I do. Here's the Texas Whiskey Festival. We go to this place near Bee Cave, the Bee Cave neighborhood in Austin. It's a little place called Starlight Ranch. This cool little, it's like a movie set type of place. They have a Main Street chapel and the town hall, which is a cafeteria restaurant thing. They have a main stage down at the end of Main Street, and it's like this old small town, old west type of or Midwest, old west, small town type of front community, like of they have a saloon and a jail, all the stuff, and it's been used on movie sets. You can rent it out for weddings and parties and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. It's a cool little place, and we go there on Saturday. We are ready to go, and then a crowd builds up at the door. They open up or at the gate. They open up the gate, and then people just flood in and start to drink your whiskey. There's a wide smattering of Texas whiskeys. There, it's all just Texas whiskeys. This isn't like one of those whiskey fests that bring in whiskeys from out of state. And there are some that are like that. The Houston Whiskey Social, the HTX Whiskey Weekend. They feature a lot of stuff from Texas, but they also have stuff from out of state. I need to take my boots off. My feet are barking. My dogs are barking. I got to at least loosen them up. I have tie boots, work boots that have ties on them. I want to get a pair of proper boots. I'd like to get a pair of proper boots before the Whiskey Fest. But Vanessa, you're planing boards. That's cool. So the other thing that I was doing before I went live tonight, I was watching videos of how to frame a room. My feed keeps breaking up. It might be, it might be me. Last week when I did this, I was doing a fundraiser for our for the new computer. Where did I find it? Here we are. The new computer fund. I need about $300 or so. Mr. Jiggs bought a couple of bottles of whiskey and a hat to help fund our new computer. That was, and that's honest to God, that's one of the best. Help me buy a new computer is to just buy whiskey. Price list. I need to add a list. Oh, account. A sub count. Do we have the sub count? Can we show that? Get it up there. Where's it? Nope. Do we have the sub count up? Everything's and the feed froze. Of course the feed froze. We are at 1987. Last I looked. We'll update that now. 1987. See if that updates. Hide. Show. It's good progress. We've added almost 20, almost 20. But the next thing I need to put on the ticker is our price list. $60 for the Boomtown. Oak Rye is $45. I was supposed to put this on. The screen sooner. Special Reserve is 40, and straight whiskey is 35, and add 10 for shipping. If you don't want to buy the shop, pick it up yourself. If that's what I've been. That's what I've been pricing and all the other stuff that I need to do. What happened? There's the sub count. Jesus Christ. Cancel. Boomtown Bourbon, $60. Double Oak Rye, 45. Special Reserve, 40. Straight Whiskey, 35. Add $10 for shipping. 2 bottles per box. I need to add that in there. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this. It's the computer. It's the computer. Sorry, Vanessa. It's the computer. I might just fucking cancel this. Computer acting up. I think I need to reset the whole damn thing. Pop out chat. Minimize window. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe I'm born with it. There we go. Okay, chat's over here. This is over here. Okay, I think I'm all set and organized. And but I've been doing stuff with this thing, with all this stuff. Here's the QR code for the computer fund. If you're watching on your home screen right there. I don't know what this is. I honest to God, I don't know what buy me a coffee means. I have no earthly idea. Um, yeah, what that means. And this, my trucker hat. This connects to our store, but it's the product that it connects to is the hat, my hat, the trucker hat. Warning me that I'm having a connection problem. Interesting. Anything? I mean, it's not very interesting. It's more infuriating than interesting. All right. You got the other restream? Are we good? Are we good? And see, what I realized last week was when I took my walk down memory lane during the nearly 2,000 subscriber special at the end of March. I was actually having similar problems back 2 years ago and a year ago. I just didn't know it. I watched my old streams. But when I watch my old streams, I see the problems that we're having. But I know how to fix those problems. I need to get about a $400 PC to fix that, and we're at about $130 less cost. So we're at about I need to get one of those like thermometers that I could do it on my whiteboard. You do the marker. We're up here to 500 and mark it off. You see, I don't want to use like distillery funds for this nonsense. I could, I suppose, use distillery funds for this nonsense. But the next $500 I spend at the distillery is going to be on our bathroom. I'm framing out the walls. Probably start doing that in the next 2 weeks. Start framing out the walls, building the frames, putting them up, drop in a toilet, drop in a sink. Bing bang boom. We got us a working bathroom. So I'm actually super duper excited about having a working bathroom. You know what I bet it is? It's the background graphic. This background graphic is using up all the resource. I bet that's what's happening. I have the motion background going on that was causing all the problems. I turn off the motion background. I bet you that's going to improve the stream because now my computer is not processing a moving graphic at the same time it's processing everything else. I bet you that might have just fixed it. I bet you. Okay. Which one's which? What's going on? When I click this, what happens? When I click this, what happens? Oh. Click this? Anything? Nope. I want to click that. Okay. Okay, so that's the stuff going on at the distillery. We've got I've completely lost my train of thought dealing with these with the tech stuff. My tech, I'm remarkably tired. I'm just remarkably tired today. I don't know why I'm so damn tired today, but I'm absolutely just bushed, exhausted, worn out. I wouldn't say burned out, but I'm definitely tired. It's been a long month. And not just April. I mean, a long month, like all of March and April. It's been I guess it's been 5 weeks. So I guess it's fair. But I need to start pushing my label release party for the Blackout Bourbon. We need to start. Oh, hello, Nightbot. Hello, Nightbot. You are very happy to see me. Good to have Nightbot. Don't forget to subscribe. Old Humble Distilling Company on YouTube. Find us on all the socials. Um, where am I? Okay. I think we got everything worked out. Do we have audio? Yep. Okay. So what I've got, what I'm building, what I need to build is an 8x8 box, 8 feet wide, 8 feet long, and 8 feet tall. So a full on 8-foot cube in which I will put a toilet and a sink. Toilet and sink. And then bing, bang, boom, we have a bathroom. So it's not going to be many moons from now. It will actually be very soon that I will have a functioning bathroom in my distillery and not have to rely on porta pots like some kind of fucking hobo. Um, so that's exciting. That's cool. I'm super duper excited about that. Chuffed about that, as my friends across the pond would say. Um, and I can say that. I can say across the pond because I have friends across the pond. Um, excuse me. I have something in my tooth. Um, let's play harmonica. Why not? I got time. Testing one. We good? We good? We good. Okay. No, I don't want to play harmonica. That bores me. That bores me. So we had 5 people at one point tonight. But because my computer was fucking up and we didn't have audio, everybody bails. So now what do I do? Give me some info. Give me some feedback, internet. Tell me what we need to do. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Shit, you're still way fucking behind over here. Okay. It's not recording. Or it's not showing me live. Who the fuck? Oh, we got our buddy John Longshanks is in the house. There's that. Is that recording? Is that registering? Well, thanks for being here, Johnny. Oh, you're an all-star. It's good to have you. All right, so I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to get comfortable right here. There we go. Who? John, you're welcome to join me. The link is pinned in chat, wherever the fuck it's pinned. I don't think you're going to join me, though. Bitch. That's fine. That's fine. I'm kidding. You're not a bitch. So anyway, what was I talking about? I'm going to have a drink. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have one drink. We're going to chat for a while. Let me tell you about the show tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to do a show, our happy hour show tomorrow night. So I want to do something else on a movie, but instead of doing a single movie, I'm going to talk about science fiction movies. We're going to talk about the history of the genre. We're going to talk about the purpose of the genre and how it connects with pop culture. So science fiction and pop culture is going to be the focus of the show. You know, what purpose science fiction separately from other fiction, because science fiction does things that other fiction doesn't do. You know, and that's why it's a culturally significant that's why it's a culturally significant genre. And I'm not done researching it and completing my thesis statement, so to speak. But the principle Let's see. Do I have anything to mix this with? Nah, we're just gonna drink it straight like a fucking boss. We're gonna drink it like a boss. Um, but you know, the basic thesis is that science fiction is more connected to cultural issues and pop culture than general fiction. You know, that's going to be that's the rough outline of the thesis that I'm working on right now. That you know, when you go with fantasy, when you go with regular fantasy fiction, period fiction, fictions like that, those you know, they explore different parts of the human condition and human psyche, either religious allegory or cheers, by the way, cheers, religious allegory, fantasy allegory, big adventures, you know, dwarves and orcs and uh, elves and dragons and all that stuff. They all have a culturally significant thing. By the, you know, they take an aspect of culture, whatever. Um, Something like the Wizard of Oz, another fiction, fantasy fiction thing. That's very much a political allegory with the banks and the politicians and the monetary system and all that. But when you talk about science fiction, it's more. I want to say it's more versatile. So the thesis that I'm working on, that I'm trying to explore, is whether or not it's more versatile as a tool for social commentary than other fiction. Because basically, what you do with science fiction is you take one aspect of a cultural issue, you pluck it out, and you put it into an unfamiliar setting, um, an unfamiliar cultural setting. So it's not us we're talking about. We're talking about somebody else entirely. And then we can explore how those people, you know, humans from the year 2632 or humans from another planet or in a galaxy far, far away or whatever, how they deal with this issue, because we're not talking about it. You know what I mean? So it's going to, you know, that's the thesis that I've got a little bit more reading and a little bit more research, a little bit more understanding and trying to do, but I'm going to see if I can't flesh that out, because I may be completely wrong. Like, science fiction may not be um, any more useful and relevant a tool than other, you know, vampires and witches and dragons and orcs and you know, period fantasies and all that other nonsense. Um, Excuse me. But I think as a pop culture tool, I think science fiction is much better with that. I think, and I'm gonna explore that a little bit. I'm gonna explore that a little bit. I want to see where my research takes me and where that goes, because I may have a completely different thesis tomorrow. I don't know. I got 24 hours to figure that out. Because, you know, that's happened before. Um, it happened before. I mean, one example where I know it's happened before. Back in college, my original, you know, I was taking a world history class and I actually had the thesis. I wanted to look into the idea that Egyptian culture and Mesoamerican culture were somehow connected because they both had pyramids, right? You know, the ancient civilization nonsense that we hear about today. I went into the class thinking I wanted to write a final paper. Like, this was going to be the reason I'm taking the class. I want to write a final paper looking for links and seeing if there was any links. I want to research this. It was an American history, ancient American civilization um, class. And I told the professor, like, this is what I want my final thesis to be, you know, in the first couple of days of the class. And he's like, go for it. See what you come up with. You know, knowing now, looking back at it, like, he was like, go for it, stupid. Uh, go for it. I dare you. So, the idea going into the class was to see if there was any potential connections between the two people groups and how those people groups could be connected, and what, if there was an opening for further discussion or further investigation or further anything. And even a what was it, uh, junior level ancient American civilization class was enough information for me to be able to look at it and go, yep, nope, that idea is complete and total nonsense. Even a junior level American civilization history course was enough information, enough research to be able to look at it and go, well, obviously they're not connected at all. Just because rocks are piled up doesn't mean that the same people piled up the rocks from this point, or that their cultures were any way shape. It just turns out that piling up rocks in the shape of a pyramid is a very effective way of piling up rocks. That's it. They pile up very effectively in a shape of a pyramid versus other shapes. So yeah, so like that's that's the first time I can remember. I'm sure it happened before then, and I know it's happened since then. But that was one of the primary seminal moments in my formative education, when I was able to look at something, do the research, and go, oh, I am completely on the wrong track. Let's change our thesis. And actually, that's pretty much how I started the final paper that I wrote for that class. I said I went into this class with the idea that these things were connected. Over the course of the last several months, I've read dozens of books, pamphlets, newsletters, whatever, the literature is what I mean to say. Dozens of books and literature regarding the history of the American pyramids and the history of the Egyptian pyramids. And while much is still unknown, it is clear that these were used in entirely different ways and are in no way, shape, or form connected. Because, even then, at the time, even now, much is unknown. We don't know all of the things, but we know enough to know that they're not connected. Not in any way, shape, or form connected. Cheers to chat, by the way. We got chat over here on the right side of the screen. If you want to join us, the link to join me is pinned in chat up there. Look down in chat, in the live chat down below. You can join me. Come up and join me. Let's talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. I'm doing this show specifically to avoid doing the things that I need to be doing right now. It is a little after midnight. I should not going to sleep. I should be working on my taxes. I'm not working on my taxes. I should be planning how I'm going to get the materials from Home Depot to my distillery to begin framing out the wall. I'm not doing that either. There's a lot of things that I should be doing that I'm just not doing. I think I'm going to make my box 10 feet tall, not 8 feet tall, though. I think I'm going to make the walls 10 feet tall, simply because I want my tasting room wall to be 10 feet tall, so that I have a 10-foot space inside the distillery. Yeah, I think it's going to be 10 feet, not 8 feet. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then the next phase, of course, is going to be to extend the wall and block in the tasting room, and then finally to block in the remainder of the wall, the area over there. So there you go. Vanessa Kitty, what are you saying? Were the pyramids built so large, spacefaring creatures trying to land would hit pointy spikes? Yeah, that's probably definitely why they were built that way. No, that's another thing that I guess I don't know. I don't know if I'm contra-cultural with that, or I think I'm more in line with the scientific consensus that there are probably aliens out there, but they're so far away from us. Space is so vast and big that will never, ever, 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 ever make contact with. Why am I yawning so much? I've seen at least one other commentator. I don't remember who it was. I've seen at least one other commentator suggest that one of the primary reasons that we as human beings expand is that we seek out more resources. Um, when Portugal and Spain started exploring west, it was because they got cut off from the spice trade by the Ottomans, and they were looking for more resources to make more money. Spain was looking for more resources. Uh, England was getting overcrowded at home, overcrowded in London, so they started literally shipping people out to the New World. When we expand and explore, it's because we're growing and consuming more causes us to find more resources. As we find more resources, we need to expand and seek more and seek more and seek more and seek more, right? So at least one commentator, who I don't know who it is, I can't remember who it was, made the suggestion that maybe we don't run into alien creatures, we don't see evidence of alien creatures going out and colonizing, because the assumption being that once you figure it out, once you unlock the key to becoming multi-planet civilization, there's nothing stopping you. You break the seal and whoosh, you're gone, right? The same way with the colonization of the Americas. Once they broke the seal, once they figured it out, once it became easy to go across the Atlantic Ocean, everybody was doing it. You had ships crossing the Atlantic Ocean every month, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time, just constantly doing it. But once you crack that code, once you get into a second planet, there's nothing stopping you, and you have a multiplanetary civilization. Then they continue to expand. It goes from 1 to 2 planets, to 2 planets to 4 planets, 4 planets to 8 planets, etc., and it just expands exponentially. And we would, theoretically at least, if the footprint was large enough, we would see evidence of that. There's trillions of galaxies, and with billions of stars in every galaxy. If even 1% of them, even 0.5% of them, 0.1% of them have life, over the course of the last 4 billion years or so, then we should have, the universe should be teeming with advanced civilizations. Conceivably, at least, that's how it should be. But we don't see any evidence of that. We don't see any evidence. And again, the universe is really super huge. It's really super, super huge. Like, think of the biggest thing you could ever think of. That is a speck on the back of the thing that is a speck on the back of a thing that's a speck on the back of a thing that is the universe. And even that is a speck on the back of a thing that's a universe. The universe is huge, vastly huger than even you can possibly comprehend. Which again, probably teeming with life, but again, it's really big. So, we're talking about like an ant in a forest, a single ant in the Amazon. It's big. You're not going to see that ant. You're not going to find it. One single snowflake in a snowstorm. It's a vast, huge place. Anyway, so the one commentator said, maybe we don't see evidence of that because they figured out how to live within their means, and they don't have any interest in seeking more resources, so they're not growing. They've figured it out, how to live within their means, and they're not spoiling the ground they stand on. They're not spoiling their planet, and they've cracked the code of sustainability. So they don't need a second planet. They don't need a third planet. They don't need a fifth planet. They don't need to become multiplanetary. And I was thinking about that, like that's super hopeful. Because, the idea of us going to Mars and terraforming Mars is cool until you think of the idea that that if we could do that to Mars and make Mars hospitable, why aren't we doing it here? If we could go to Mars and use sustainable production and not be, not ruin the surface of Mars, why aren't we doing that here? Why not launch a colony on Earth that does what we want to do on Mars, but do it on Earth, where it's a cleaner, greener, more sustainable, just way of living in general here on Earth. And not so that we can triple our population, but so that we can stabilize our population. And, further, all the people who say that human activity doesn't affect the environment, no, not significantly at least. They're the same people saying that we could go to Mars and terraform Mars. Because everybody says we can go to Mars and terraform Mars. It would take a tremendous amount of energy, a tremendous amount of activity, a tremendous amount of resources, but we could do it. But just think if we use that same energy here. Instead of spewing carbon everywhere, we used that same energy for carbon capture. Instead of using our resources to have a sustainable, leave no trace type of existence on Mars, why not use those same resources to have a sustainable, leave no trace type of existence here? I mean, I know there's entire businesses that have been built on building landfills and removing our trash and taking our trash from one place and bringing our trash to another place and digging a big hole and burying our trash there. But what if those companies didn't have to exist because we were able to crack the sustainability code, That'd be fucking awesome. That'd be a game changer. If we could crack the sustainability code where we truly left no trace. And, we've got to consume some resources. We got to consume wood. We got to consume, there's a lot of things that we think we need to consume. But what if we didn't have to? What if instead of using wood studs, we used metal studs? I'm about to build a room with using metal studs. Why not? Why not use metal studs? If we don't, so we wouldn't have to use wood on houses necessarily, but even those metal studs come from somewhere. They got to get extracted out of the ground. The metal comes from somewhere. We've got to extract that metal. But what if it was? I don't know. What if we used recycled metal first? What if the cost of extracting metal was so high that we would choose instead to build systems to recapture, reclaim, and reuse the metal that we have instead of like legit. I mean, what we do now is legit. We just put that shit in we put it in landfills, and we say we reclaim it. We don't reclaim a lot of the shit that we say we reclaim. We just don't. It would be really cool if we did, though. Who's here? C&T Design, man. I just watched the video that you made like just earlier today because again, the procrastination happy hour. Before I came on, I watched the video you did 3 months ago when you got our whiskey, and I appreciate that, man. It was I rewatched it. It's a great show. You enjoyed it. I was happy. If it's and buts were candy and if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have wonderful. That's true. Yeah. But you see, that's the paradigm. That's the idea that we're trying to move towards. Yeah, I know you can only recycle, and that's what I'm saying. We've got to extract some resources, and metal out of the ground is a finite resource. There's a lot of resources that are finite, but conceivably, even the resources that we pull out of the ground that are finite, we can make them last for. But I mean, we talk about that, like. But anyway, but what if the concept of these alien civilizations that the universe is supposedly teeming with. What if we don't know about them? What if they haven't become planetary societies? What if they're not exploring the universe because they just don't have to? You know, what if they just don't have to? They don't have the need to go get more resources because they've cracked the code for sustainability. They whatever resources they need, they're able to do. Whether it's a what is it called? Those what do they use in Star Trek? The replicator machines, the fabricator machines, whatever they were called, that would basically arrange atoms and build whatever it was that you wanted to build. And if you could do something like that, conceivably, if you could do something like that, there would be limitless resources. You would never, ever, ever again have to pay for stuff. Like the only people who would make money are the people who sell the replicator machines, because you could get whatever just by telling your machine to build a thing. I want a book. Build a book. There it is. You send the book to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT writes you a fiction or a narrative history of ancient Sumerian uh, ancient Sumerian civilizations. I don't know, whatever. ChatGPT gives you a fictional story of love, loss, and redemption in ancient Sumeria, and ChatGPT craps out a 200-page novel for you. Mm, why not? Why not? Why couldn't that be a thing? And you don't need authors; they're gone. You don't need lumberjacks cutting down trees because your paper gets generated by a replicator machine. I mean, conceivably, in theory, science fiction, and that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow on the show. I'm going to talk about this thesis that I'm working on with science fiction, social commentary of science fiction, because we can't conceive in our society how that would, like, how you get from point A to point C, what B looks like. But in science fiction, you just take that idea, pull it out of, and plop it down into whatever future or tangential sideline you can come up with. And that's what science fiction does. Science fiction takes one single idea or one or two single ideas that don't necessarily have to be related, but sometimes are, and drops it down into a completely foreign society without all the ills and problems and trappings, or sometimes with all the ills and problems and trappings that we have. And then we explore that one item. Like Star Trek is an entirely communist society. Um, is it communist? Yeah, it's moneyless, uh, scarcity free, moneyless. It's hierarchical, obviously. They have hierarchies. Um, but none of the shops charge money. They have freely available goods. You get all the clothes you want. They're boring, but you can get any clothes you want, all the clothes you want. It's a full on. It's not an authoritarian communist society. It's just a communist society, a democratic communist society. Like, I don't even know what the fuck that is, a democratic communist society. But I mean, they did it in Star Trek. This fucking utopian ideal. It would be interesting. I think the story of the dark underside of um, Star Trek society of the future. Because we always see the dystopian side of it. Fifth Element and Blade Runner and Logan's Crossing or Logan's Run rather, and stuff like that. We see that dystopian thing with the high rises and flying cars, and it's smoggy and smoky and gross, and but Star Trek is anything but that. Star Trek is gleaming, clean, polished. Everything is. I mean, they clearly have people doing that work, making sure that the buildings are clean and the roads are clean and the sidewalks are clean and there's no homelessness and no all the stuff is cleaned up and taken care of. And I know the history, with the gotta move my feet over here, the history with the the enhanced wars or whatever that laid waste and devastation to humankind and da 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 da. And that's why you don't have a whole lot of culture between 1970 something or 1960 something and 2360 something, whatever time period the show was set in, because all that shit was destroyed. Um, when Kirk is listening to music, he's listening to music from the 1900s. When Kirk is drinking a fine scotch, it's a fine scotch from 1973. When it's paintings, they're paintings from the. It's like they didn't have any culture from 2000 to 2300 because there was a whole fucking war, wiped out civilization, or nearly wiped out civilization, cut down all the governments, and it was just they came back with a singular government type of thing. I get it. I mean, I'm not well versed in it, but I kind of get the broad strokes, and that's probably wrong. So whatever. Get off my back. I had girlfriends in high school. I didn't follow that shit. Oddly enough, one of my girlfriends in college also had girlfriends in college, but not while we were dating. She had a girlfriend before we were dating, and I think she married a boy. I think. I don't remember. In fact, I probably couldn't pick her out of a lineup if I saw her face. I don't remember her face either. Great relationship that was. Great relationship. Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? What are we talking about? But that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night. I'm going to talk about the science fiction stuff tomorrow night. Still working on that thesis, so it's on my mind. But the things that I'm not doing right now, I'm not boxing up the whiskey that I labeled and signed the labels on. I'm not boxing that stuff up. I'm not printing out labels and putting labels on the boxes. I'm not doing my taxes. I'm not sourcing the materials that I need to frame the walls for the bathroom at the distillery. I'm not going to sleep. That's another thing that I'm supposed to be doing that I'm not doing. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not doing tonight that I'm just putting off because I'm doing this instead. I should be doing other stuff, but I'm not. So, if you want to join me, hey, C&T, if you want to join me, the link for chat is up and pinned in, the link to the panel is pinned in chat. What is this? I'm looking for this one right here. Participants, who all's here? Oh, shit, it's not telling me anything. You are a trifling bitch, YouTube. You really are. You really, really are. Okay. So what else? What is the computer fund stands at $100. We need to be up to $500. The computer fund stands at $100. If you wish to contribute to my computer fund, there it is down there at the bottom. PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. I can take all. If you would just like to buy a bottle of whiskey or merch or whatever, that's the price list. $60 for the Boomtown, Double Oak Rye, $45. Special Reserve, 40 straight whiskey, $35. Add 10 for shipping. When you send the funds through the various channels down below, 60% of what you send me when it comes for purchases goes to the computer fund. 60% of what you buy goes to the computer fund. So 130 yields $100, something like that. I don't know. I'll break it down later. So most of the proceeds of this goes to the computer fund. And also, finally, our sub count is currently at 1987. I want to see if I can do a thing. Let me see here. If I do this, I'm going to try something real quick. Might come to crash. Might. We'll see. But I'm going to try something. I think it'll look cool if I do it. I can get rid of this. Yeah, remove from that list. Thank you. So I've found a thing that I think I can do. I'm going to try it and see how this turns out. I've chatted. Oh, C&T, you can't. That's fair. That's fine. I'm cool. It's cool. You don't have to. Search from my store, my trucker hat. There we go. Fix that glare. Yeah, if you want one of these hats, we got that right here. There you go. I can do more new computer funds. TER fund. Oh, you know what? I'll work on this. I'll work on all this. It's cool. Anyway, we'll go to analytics. Click a button. Go to analytics. Click a button. I'm going to share this screen. Live stream? No. Studio? This is the one. Nope. Chanalytics. That's the one. Share. And then count. And then I switch me with this. Did that work? Oh, looky there. It puts the live count down there in the bottom. And what if I make it bigger? Will that work? There it is. That did. It worked. It worked just beautifully. Live count's right down there at the bottom. So, hey, it looks like I can update it. Our sub count now is 1988. 1988. And this will give me a live count. I can just leave it there. Save. Show. There it is. Sub count 1988. Bourbon giveaway at 2000. I probably had to get rid of that bourbon giveaway at 2000 part because I'm not sure we're going to do that. Save. There. Awesome. And it's updating live. And I can make it even bigger. Oh, nope, not that big. What if I make it full screen? Did that do anything? Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at that. That's beautiful. I'll just leave that there. Okay, cool. So now we got our sub count live. So let's see here. If I unsub, will that drop it? Will that drop it down? Did that work? Let's see. Let's see if it updates. I want to see. I went to an alt to see if I can update it real quick. Let's see how live this is. We'll see. Oh, there it goes. It went down. Let's see if it goes back up to 88. See if that happens. All right. Let's watch. There it is. All right, cool. So we now stream at least. I can have a full live update for every single sub versus my other stream where it rounds it off, or it rounds it down. So it'd be 1980 even. So I want to watch. I want to see. I'm going to stay on until this goes to 1990. 1990. Yes. It's fucking awesome. Okay, cool. I'm super duper excited about that. If you want to join me, the link is in chat. It's over there at it's pinned in chat. It's the top of chat. You can find it. It's the one that says restream.io. You're welcome to join us. We can talk literally about anything. I am procrastinating the work that I should be doing tonight by talking with you fine folks. That I'm not I'm not doing a lot of things that I should be doing. I should be going to bed. It's almost 1 o'clock here in Houston, Texas, just outside of Houston, Texas, in Humble, Texas. Another project that I'm working on that I'm actively researching is a backlit logo box where I can, where I basically have a 3 foot by 3 foot acrylic, a 3 foot by 3 foot acrylic sign with my logo on it, right? And then etch my logo into the 3 foot by 3 foot acrylic, and then slide it into a box that has LED lights backlighting that acrylic logo, so I could hang it on the wall in my distillery or behind my performers who are performing in my distillery, or give it to a bar so they can hang it on the wall in their bar, or all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, that would be a super duper cool project, among other super duper cool projects. But that would be probably the coolest one that I'm working on. I just need to get the acrylic etched, and I can probably do that with my own Dremel. It's just a question of the time it would take to get it done. It would probably be better to outsource that and send it out to a trophy shop that could etch that in using a CNC machine and get like 5 of those done all at once. I mean, that would only cost me probably $100 to do that. Probably. Anyway. So that's another project that I'm researching and looking into, trying to figure out how to make that work. Because I don't want it to look cheap. I don't want to look like garbage. I want it to be good and plenty. A cool little wall hanging that I could contribute to a bar, swap out with some other tchotchkes that I've given them over the years, get my metal sign back, stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, what else? Yeah. What else should we talk about? I mean, it's late. I mean, I could wrap this up. What have we been going an hour? I could wrap this up. I mean, it's fine. It's not, critical that we keep going. Should I? I don't know. Let me know in chat. Should I wrap it up? Should I keep going? You let me know. You tell me. Y'all are my people. I'm your people. I'm going to close this real quick. I do want to see, I really do want to see this go up to 1990. So I that, right? Just hang out, which is 1990. Yeah. 14. That's not right. That's not right. Screen for, I'm looking over my other. Boom. Show the screen back. Back to you. Everyone thing that we do. Nope. So when you on my phone computer at home. It's cool. Switch place. There we go. All right. I think we might have everything worked out again. See, anytime I do stuff over here, my processor gets bogged down, my GPU gets bogged down, everything gets bogged down every time I try to do stuff. That's why I need a new setup. I want to donate money, You can donate money if you want to buy an actual product from me. Product too. Price is over here under the caption screen, which is right there. Again, the distillery, I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past, but the distillery is not shipping the whiskey directly to you. What's happening is I go out and purchase it from a store, put it in a box to you. So it takes a few days for me to get through it and stuff. You know, I've got to move them so I can take the money from the person to the store, buy the whiskey, bring it back, do all the stuff. But working, I have a meeting on Thursday as an application. Hide it. Who has an application that will allow me to take orders on my website and have them fulfilled by a third party. So you can order it directly from me. It gets fulfilled by a third party and shipped to you. Anywhere in 45 states in the country, which is super duper exciting. Which means then people in California, Ohio, New York, Florida, Colorado, all the places can finally order my whiskey. Connecticut, Vermont, you know, all the places. Those are all places. What about in New Mexico? New Mexico is a place. As long as New Mexico is a place. You can name any of the states as long as it's a place and not one of the 5 states that we can't ship to. So I'm going to be talking to this guy on Thursday. Find out what the details are. Find out if there's costs associated with it. And, you know, get it cranked out because this is literally being shipped to you by a liquor store. So as long as those liquor stores, and that's part of getting the product to you, is getting the product to them. So I'd love to sit here and wait for it to be to wait for it to hit up to 1990, but I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna use my the rye bottle. I had to run to the store to get the rye bottle. I had to run to 2 different stores to get the rye bottle. But your box is going in the mail tomorrow. You have your hat. I do. One tonight. At least the 3rd one. 5th one. And I can hear the audio on my monitor. I cannot hear the audio on my monitor working. So I know that my feed. Okay, now it's unfrozen. All right. I've got trivia cards. This is sports trivia. I don't like doing the sports trivia. I'm going to do the classic Trivia Pursuit trivia. Classic Trivial Pursuit. 19 trivia. So maybe dated. Oh, for that matter. The question will be up like, this man was a famous You can't say that. You can't say that. Well, we could in 1988. Oh, okay. Well, I guess so. I don't even know who that would apply to. Oh, Donald Trump. Okay. Are we ready for trivia? Let's do some trivia. Here's a trivia question for you. What country would you visit to ski in the Dolomites? What country would you visit to ski in the Dolomites? The answer to that, Italy is where you would ski in the Dolomites. Which is flattened house of Oz? Which is flattened by a house in the Wizard of Oz? That would be the Wicked Witch of the East, um, as an allegory of the bank, New York or Federal Bank, I guess. Um, who did Sarah Jane Moore try to assassinate? Who try to assassinate? That would be the answer to that. Who first cover of People magazine? Who was on the cover, the first cover? I'm trying to delete a thing. Who was on the first cover of People magazine? That would Mia Farrow or Maya Farrow. I think it was Mia Farrow was how to pronounce that. Okay. Now y'all can also ask me anything. Anything to add that Cryon down here at the bar. Chirons. Okay, number this would be Science and Nature. What color is yak's milk? What color is yak's milk? What color is yak's milk? The answer to that is pink. Yak's milk is pink. And don't you forget it. Yak's milk is pink. Okay, finally, who would be interested in definitives, overprints, and overprints? Um, you're here. You weren't ready. First question: where is the headquarters of Kellogg? Where was the headquarters of Kellogg? I assume it's in the same place. Battle Creek. Uh, second question: what New York City hotel cinematic scene of what New York's